process take 6 or 8 or 10 months. Because I think some of you were very happy with the CLB score you got. Some of you were asking me questions about the CLB score you got in the different areas. Let me just share the screen so it's set up. Okay. But we're going to start with topic sentences first. This is going to take a minute or two. I have different handouts, but they're kind of all mixed up. Okay, they're in groups of 3, so I'm just going to give you the groups of 3 and then, but we're only going to look at the first handout. I don't want you to get confused by looking through more than that. Yeah, just double check, make sure that you have 3 papers with what I give you. I can give you more if you want, but it's the same thing, so might get more confusing. Too much, Mr. Trevor. Okay. So just look at the first page. Don't worry about page 2 and 3, or you'll start to get confused with that. So let me pull up my document so that it's showing at the top of the screen. So we talked yesterday about brainstorming, and you guys practiced brainstorming with looking at places to go, and then also about renting and owning. Okay, so that was getting in the mindset of getting ideas. If I look at the top of this section, sorry, I'll have to plug in my computer to make sure that the battery doesn't run out. So if you look at the top, you see that I already have brainstormed a topic and information for you. And I don't know if some of you looked at the PDF I sent in November and December about writing an essay, but this information is explained in that PDF as well. So you might have seen some of this before, but for most of you, this will be newer. Okay, so if I brainstorm what's the best country in the world, I might come up with different countries. So I just pick countries that some of you are from and that I'm from. Canada, US, Ukraine, Argentina, Eritrea. But I have to think, what makes a country great? How do I know if this is a good country or not a good country? So that's where I've come up with a bunch of different ideas. What could make a country be a great country? Okay, so peaceful, good for business, tourist sites, healthcare system, education, comfortable life, etc. Good tourist sites sounds strange. Beautiful tourist sites or many tourist sites, but so if I'm writing a topic sentence, I have 2 parts. I have the topic, and then I have my 2 or 3 main ideas. So with this, if this is what I've brainstormed and this is what I have so far, in step 2, what do I do? So step 1, I've brainstormed. What do I do in step 2? Okay, so find main idea and Okay, so I'll make the topic sentence from this information, but I have 4 to 6 ideas here. So in step 2, when I make my outline, what am I doing? Sorry? Right, so I'm narrowing down, choosing the 2 or 3 best ideas. Okay, so when I write my topic sentence, I'm going to decide which of these are the best for me to write about. And then I'm going to choose which country I'm going to write about. So what's the best country in the world? What is my topic? How would I form the first part of my topic sentence?
Today I'm going to talk about
Okay. Okay, about,
is the best country of the world.
okay, which is? Because I can't talk about all of them. I need the best country. So Christian, which country for you is the best country? Okay.
Yes.
It's okay if you choose something else. You won't get lower marks with that. Okay, but so then we could say, today I'm going to talk about Canada. Hi, Roman, come on in. Okay, and what are going to be the ideas that you're going to talk about? Okay. Okay. For 2 reasons. What were they, sorry?
Peaceful.
Okay. Okay. Someone give me a different topic sentence. Tell me something, give me another option. Okay. So Andre or Gail, Ephraim, if you were writing about this, what would you say for your topic sentence? Anna, Tekla, Tanya, anyone can give me a,
Tourist sites, confortable.
sorry, just say
The tourist site,
the 2.
the tourist.
Okay, so give me the whole sentence.
Oh, okay. Today I will going to write about I don't know,
Okay,
like for tourist.
okay,
It's tourist site.
okay. So first,
Yes.
okay, tourist sites, yep.
Comfortable.
Good. Okay, let's do one more example and then I'll talk about how to make it better. Give me a third example, anyone. Okay. Sorry. We can take 2. Eureka, what are you going to say? Okay. Okay. And stop. Okay. And Vlad, what's another choice?
Today I'm going to talk about Ukraine and Canada.
Okay,
This oh, difference, huh? Yeah.
okay. Okay, so let's go back to what my question is. So what is the question? Okay, so I can compare countries. So I can compare Canada and the US or Ukraine and Canada, but I'm starting to move away from what is the best country. Okay, so if we look at these first 2 examples, I'm choosing a country. And then I'm talking about why I think that country is the best. There's one little piece that we can add to make these 2, either of these better. Let's also include the key words from the question. Okay, so today I'm going to talk about Canada being the best country in the world for 2 reasons. Okay, or Today I'll write about Canada's. I'm going to change this slightly just to show you a difference of why Canada is the best country in the world. Okay, so that way I'm taking parts of the question and I'm putting it into the topic sentence with that idea. Let me,
You have to write the best country from the comments.
it can be, yes,
You all the times.
yeah, with that. So depending on what your question is, that's how we'll look at and make some changes within this. But you see how I've taken the keywords, I've chosen which a country, and I've chosen the reasons. Now I can write the rest of the paragraph or essay, depending on how much I want to say. Sorry, there was something else I was going to add. Oh, right. Now, this is good. But let's make it more academic, because if you're planning to go into CLB 7 and 8, we're going to take out personal information and make it more academic. And it's quick and easy, because all I have to do is say, Canada is the best country in the, and the rest of it. So I'm just going to copy and paste. Okay. So if you say, because that's what I taught you, today I'm going to talk about, today I'm going to write about, no problem. But as you move to higher levels, you're going to use less personal information. More, in my opinion, this is a good thing, this is a great thing. And we're going to switch to more academic terminology where it's non-personal with just the information. Does that make sense? Okay. Now, it's okay that two of you gave these examples, because this is what's part of what we can talk about with the next section. I didn't explain that well, so let me explain something. Sorry. I want to make this so it's near the top of the screen there, not at the bottom. How you write your topic sentence also depends on what kind of question you're being asked. So in early January, we were talking about opinion questions. Today I'll talk about, today I'll write about, and you're giving things that you like or want. Okay, is winter better than summer, or different topics? Then when we were doing some of the skill using, I switched it up, and sometimes you were comparing between two countries. So when we are writing, and then when you were writing for skill using an assessment, that's where there was a bit of confusion, because you were using this outline or this example, but then applying it to a question where we're comparing things. So on your paper in the middle of the page, and we've already done this a couple of times, but I want you to take your pen or pencil, marker, etc., and work with one or two other people. So if you do it on your own, it's okay, but help each other. Help each other to think about what two countries are you going to compare, and then what will be some similarities and what will be some differences. And then we're going to practice writing a topic sentence based on what you write in this part. Okay. So if you need to move around so that you're sitting with someone, or that you're like next to someone, beside someone, etc., but take a minute to fill out 3 or 4 similarities and 3 or 4 differences. You want to take one? Oh, yeah. Okay, so yeah, if you want to move around, go and work with somebody. Okay, Elena, if you want to join in with the back, that's fine. If you want to join Christian, you want to join Alex, whoever you want to join with. Okay, so work with someone, help each other, brainstorm, and then write down what's similar and different. One word or sentences? One word. Yeah, well, a couple of words. But yeah, That's a good point, though. During this part, just make it a couple of sentences, sorry, a couple of words. You're not writing complete sentences, you're just thinking of ideas. So what's one similarity between countries? Okay, sometimes it can be food, sometimes food can be a difference. Okay, so you don't have to write a whole sentence, just think about what are some things that might be similar between countries, what are some things that might be different between countries. I'll give you 3 or 4 minutes, chat with each other, come up with some ideas, and then we'll form topic sentences based on what you've said. Well, work together, it's okay, help each other, yeah. Okay, so Patty, yeah, Patty, if you want to move the plot, help each other, Eklund, if you want to move with these guys, we're there. Okay. So with some of these, we can put them in both places because it depends what countries you're comparing. So if I'm comparing Canada and the US, we have some similar food, weather, animals, but we would also have some that are different, etc. But on the board, there's a list of many different options: education, healthcare, nature, geography, business, cost of living, etc. So my question for us is this: music, medical system, yeah. Okay. So when you're writing your paragraph or your essay, what do I do? Do I talk about similarities? Do I talk about differences, or do I talk about both? What, sorry, say that again. Good. It's your choice. If this is the question, compare two countries, it's up to you what you're going to talk about. And sometimes, let's say, for example, I gave you 25 minutes. You might try to talk about too much. You talk a little bit about similarities, a little bit about differences, you start running out of time, and then it's not as great as it could have been. It might be better just to talk about one side or the other. So just 3 similarities or 3 main differences. And again, as you go to higher levels, or if you're teaching, sorry, not teaching, I teach, if you're practicing for IELTS or TOEFL, I often have students write an essay and they write a little bit about many different things. And their mark is never going to get above a 5.5. Even getting a 6 in IELTS is going to be difficult if you write a little bit about many things. I grew up on a farm, so I use the example: if you're in the garden or if you're planting, it's like planting and opening the soil up just a little bit. It's very shallow and just sort of general. It's much better to choose one side and go deeper and explain more, because then you'll have more, you'll show your ability to write more vocabulary and more information by going into more one side with examples and specific details with that. Okay. So let's do the same thing. Here, I'll just come up and yeah, Alex, that's where, so it's your choice on what you're going to do. But on your paper, you have a space there. So now this is where what you say might be different from what you say, which might be different from what you say. I want you to take a minute or two, decide with what the list you made. Are you going to talk about similarities? Are you going to talk about differences? Are you going to talk about both? Which are you going to talk about? And then I want you to write your topic sentence. And I'm going to just make this so it's all on one page so that everyone can see these choices. Okay. So now go ahead. If you want to work with the partner again and write one topic sentence between both of you, that's fine. If you each want to write your own topic sentence, you're like, I got this, I'm great at this, then want to do your own, that's fine. But take a few minutes now to decide, how are you going to write your topic sentence on this topic? And then we'll look at some examples and we'll look at how we make changes to it. So I'll give you 3 or 4 minutes to do that as well. And if you're confused, ask me, because I can come around and help. It's easier for me to help you now than during the discussion. So here's a couple of things. I don't know which one of you is. So you can watch what you're saying, you're not asking work there. And what if you were to the rest of the decision on it? And so what are the okay, so that's where the. Okay. So probably it's not make it easier to start. You want to keep it simple, so just one so like these schools talk. The other ones you'll have 1 or 2 sentences, or the third one, 2 sentences, yes, and then it's very short. And again, this is my advice, and this is your choice, fine, to make your topic sentence easier when you first practicing it. So try to rewrite that. So if I give you a topic, so this week, next week, and 5 weeks, any topic you get. Oh, I'm sorry, yeah, this paper has. Oh, yeah, you have it there. This is where you write your topic sentence. Yes, yeah, okay, yeah, that's what it is. So the mail documents, okay, so now I'm confused because when I read this, because you have similarities in the so I want to read is very similar, it's very different. If that's where you are, see, that's why it's complicated. Yeah, you know what's out there? Okay, you can, but you've seen some of my examples maybe where we want to keep it short. You want to keep it rapid, not short, but you want to keep it shorter than 2 or 3 sentences. Okay, so as with the example we gave earlier, there are 2 similarities between Canada and Britain. Language and education. Anyway, work on that and you'll work on that. Right, because it's confusing, because I'm not sure what is similar and what's different. So the easiest way to change this, because you said whether is similar. Okay, so the easiest way is to say today I'll talk about similarity in sweater and the difference in whites. So you put letter there and like the human and you said it. Now I go back to home, they will go back. Difference. Yeah. You know, we have it's all the same. It's easy, right? And so what I suggest is just letting folks sit there, where there's no difference. So you use and this is the case, you haven't been in the class, it's the kind of problem that we see. It's not really good. You're talking about yourself. So now with I say or and it's looking at the number. So all When I see that, now I know exactly similarity one, similarity I'll talk with everyone because it's the same. I'm not going to use the for two reasons or for three reasons. I'm going to use the number, the similarities or the differences now. Okay, so let's talk about what you've done so far, because some of you have shown me some examples. Okay, so today I will. Sorry, I'll slow down so I can type properly. Today I will. Still recording, right? Yes, okay. I can type faster, but then it's not as accurate. Canada and Ukraine for two reasons. Okay, so some of you have been writing because you're using the for two reasons, but this is what I use when I'm talking about opinion questions. I like this for two reasons. This is better for two reasons. When you're talking about similarities and differences, use the number, take out the reason part, but use the number now with your similarities and differences. So today I will talk about two similarities and three differences between Canada and the Ukraine. Okay, so that's one option. Okay, but what I've encouraged you to do is if you talk about similarities and differences in one paragraph, it's going to be challenging to write that in a short section. So what I would recommend then is just talk about one or the other. Today, I will talk about two similarities between Canada and Ukraine. Done. Okay. Does anyone want to give me what they wrote and then we can see if it's great or if we want to change it? Any examples that you wrote that we can talk about? No, everyone's great. Okay. Now, in a previous class, and I think this was in November, so again, for at least half of you, this was from before, but I've talked about good, better, and great. Because this is fine. Well, let me give you the examples then using this. Okay. If you tell me today, I'll talk about similarities between Canada and Ukraine. This is good because I know that you're talking about similarities. I know that you're talking about these two countries. But what I want to show you, or what I want you to be imitating, this is better because when I see this, many similarities, a lot of similarities, some similarities, or just similarities, I'm not sure how many ideas you're going to talk about. When I go and see this sentence, I'll talk about two. I know exactly what you'll talk about. And your job as a writer or a speaker, you want to make sure that the reader or the listener is not confused. Okay, how do I make this and move this from better to great? What am I missing here, which some of you already told me earlier? Sorry? Okay. Right, specific examples that I'm going to talk about. First, so education system, I'm just going to pick things. I'm not saying that these are. And second, the food. You know, could be anything within that, but why is this the best or the greatest? I'll say, yeah, just so that there's no confusion, sometimes when I'm writing, I'll say best, sometimes I'll say great, but to keep this simple, best. Why is this the best? Yeah. So again, as a teacher, or a reader or listener, I know exactly what to expect, and you're preparing your audience. So if I start my presentation like this, you're going to be thinking of vocabulary and information that's about education, and then about the food that we'll be talking about, or that we'll be doing. Okay. Okay. So let's do one more example that you will work on with your partner. First of all, is this opinion question or is this comparison?
Opinion.
It's a little bit tricky because some people will think, oh, I'm asking my opinion. Some people will think it's comparing. I am comparing and looking at dogs and cats, but it's opinion because I'm not 100% right. I can say cats, Alex can say dogs, and Alex can say cats, but who's right? There's no right answer. It's your opinion. Okay, so with opinion questions, remember what I said earlier? This is where you can use the phrase for 2 or for 3 reasons. Okay, so with your partner, think about what are some reasons why cats are better? What are some reasons why dogs are better? And then write a topic sentence. And look back to the example we used up here when we were writing about what's the best country in the world. Okay, I'll give you 4 or 5 minutes to brainstorm and write your topic sentence. And don't fight between you if one of you likes cats and one of you likes dogs. Any volunteers to go first? Ephraim? Okay, good. 4, 3.
First.
Okay. Okay, second,
Second. Outside.
okay, and third, okay. And I know some people who like cats are saying, wait a minute, cats are friendly. That's okay, though. Not all of them. Yeah. Okay, good. Okay, somebody give me another example of a topic sentence.
The
The whole sentence, please. What was your topic sentence?
same.
Okay. And what were your reasons? Okay,
That's it.
okay. Sorry, what was the first reason?
This is
Funny and active. Okay,
love children.
okay, good. Thank you.
Okay, in my opinion.
Good, because this is an opinion question. Yep.
More, more better animals with cats.
Okay,
First. Oh, for 3 reasons.
good. Okay,
First, don't need to go out for toilet. Mental health. So gentle. Warm.
okay, so this is where, so
It's
it's
a-
good, but yeah, but this is where we have to kind of,
Cute.
and third, cute. Okay. Very cute. Perfect, good. Okay, yep, Vladim,
Today, I want to put in the wrong, we shall not have gas for those. I think the battery drops because it's more safety and friendly. And it's more people using the house.
okay, what was the second point? More safe and friendly and more,
Safe and friendly.
yep, and-
It's important for more people to use the house.
so with living in a big house because of security or because,
What is saying, yeah, more space.
yeah, okay,
Require more space.
okay. Okay, so what you said is great. I'm just not going to write it all out. Okay, but how you started that was fine. Okay, so more safe and friendly and. So this is where I'm hesitating because this is long. I'm thinking in my mind, how do I make it shorter? Because in the topic sentence, I can just have 1 or 2 or 3 words. And then as I'm writing, I'll expand within that. So maybe what I can say, and great. I mean, well, yeah, great for people in big houses. Yeah, many people in Winnipeg have them, but, okay. So here, I basically have 3 ideas: safe, friendly, and great for people in big houses. Okay. Let's do one more. Anyone else want to give me theirs? Well, yep, volunteer. Okay. And, okay, so then is that 2 reasons or 3 reasons? Okay. Okay. And that's where then we can add first, easy to care for, comma, second, smaller size, and third. Okay. Third, safer. Okay, good. So any questions so far with writing these and thinking about them and organizing? Because when you have a limited amount of time, we want to go through the steps of thinking of ideas, thinking of different things, deciding how am I going to write, and then write your topic sentence very quickly, which then gives you more time for the body part where you're expanding or writing. If you're taking the IELTS exam, sorry, I'm just going back through my mind with the times and stuff, but if you take an IELTS exam or CELPIP, you have about 45 minutes to write an essay, and then you have 20 minutes to write a task 1, which is a summary of a graph or a chart. That's for the academic part. If you're taking CELPIP, you have 20 or 25 minutes to write an email or like a letter in an email format. And then you have 25 to 30 minutes to write comparing 2 things within that. So depending on which exam you're writing and looking at your time. So this focus, sometimes students say to me, but Mr. Trevor, I just want to start writing. But that will also usually lower your mark. If you plan out for 5, 7, 8 minutes, how will I write? Then you spend about 12 to 15 minutes writing that out and just expanding it. You still then at the end have 4 or 5 minutes to look back and make changes, make corrections. If you wrote a lot of simple sentences, decide how to join sentences together and make it, move it to a higher level of writing with what you're doing. So there's another question on your paper. I'm going to leave that for you for homework. So that's one of the things you can work on over tomorrow until Thursday. So you're going to compare cats and dogs. And I changed this slightly. If you look at your handout, it says cats because dogs, or sorry, yeah, it says cats because dogs because. I think it makes more sense if you say cats and dogs are similar, and then cats and dogs are different, and then make your list. How are they similar? How are they different? Okay. But I want to spend a couple of minutes, and then we'll move on, just talking more about good, better, and best. What I did is I went through your paragraphs that you wrote for us last week, and I took out some of the different topic sentences that people wrote. Not here, but further down. But let's talk about, so this is halfway down on page 2. Let's talk about good, better, and best. And I've already explained this a bit earlier, but Canada and Ukraine are similar. Okay, that's good. I know the countries, I know that you'll talk about similarities only. Okay. But it's better if you say Canada and Ukraine are similar for 2 reasons, or Canada and Ukraine have 2 similarities. Okay, so this is how you can still use reasons, or you take out reasons and you put in the number before the similarities. So good, better, but best is where, as we've looked at already, use first and second and tell us the information. So friendly people and second food, or first friendly people and second food. Okay. So use this as a reference in the future, good, better, and best. Let's look at some of the sample topic sentences that some of you wrote in the last week or two. Okay, today I'm going to talk about work in Ukraine and work in Canada for 2 reasons. Is this good? Is this better? Or is this best?
It's bad, right?
It's better because I have the number. So when you're adding the number, that's always better. Okay, otherwise I could say today I'll talk about work in Ukraine and Canada. That's good. I know it's work in Ukraine and Canada. I don't know how many ideas. Better, 2 reasons. Okay. What could I do to make this best? Okay, how do I improve and make this best? Good, because I'm talking about 2 reasons. So I have first reason, I have second reason. Okay, so right now I'm not going to add, but that's where you could add in your own reasons. Let's look at the second example. I'm going to talk about 2 main differences between Canada and Ukraine. Good, better, or best? Good, better, or best? Good, but I have 2. Okay, good, better, or best? Better, okay? If you remember the topic for the assessments, most of you are writing about comparing services. So healthcare service, employment insurance, etc. So this as a sentence is fine, but I don't know still, what are you comparing? You could be comparing sports. You could be comparing weather. So this is a better sentence because it has 2, but it can be more specific when you say comparing 2 differences between Canada and Ukraine, medical system and employment insurance. Okay, to make it best. Okay, today I'm going to talk about the medical system in Canada and Ukraine. Good, better, or best?
Good.
So numbers better, no numbers good. Because I don't know how many ideas you'll talk about. So at least I know medical, Canada and Ukraine. But when you add numbers, that's when it'll be better. Okay, so this is good. Okay, talk about why medical system in Ukraine and Canada is similar for 2 reasons. Better. Okay, starting to get the hang of it. Good, better, better, good. Okay, so that one's better. Today I'm going to talk about community service in Canada and Ukraine, first employment and second the medical system. Good, better, or best?
Yes.
Yay! Because some of you wrote like this. This one is best. Okay. Comparison of the medical system between Canada and Ukraine. Good, better, best? Good. Okay. So you'll see with these spots where I have lines, what you can also do for homework then is make them best. Okay. So I want you to get practice and be thinking in your mind, okay, this is good. How do I make it best? This one's better. How do I make it best? So just as a quick summary,
You will send me.
no, you have the papers right here. I will send an email, yeah. But this is going to be with these handouts, what you'll be working on between now and Thursday, and then bring the handouts to class. Okay, but I will send this information in email. So as a review, we've talked about opinion questions, where you're usually saying for 2 reasons, for 3 reasons, or about comparative questions. We've talked about how do you write your topic sentence? And then we've talked about how do you move a topic sentence from average or good, making it better, or how do we make it best? If I want to be careful when I say this, but if you're in most classes at a CLB 6 level, CLB 6, they're not even talking about this yet. They just want you to be able to write a good topic sentence. Okay, so I want you guys to be writing at a higher level, and you can see it's difficult at the start, but once you understand the idea, it's not that hard to be writing best topic sentences. You just have to identify a topic, how many points, what are my points going to be? But once you have a best topic sentence, that's what you'll see often with CLB 7 and 8 students. Because that's what they teach according to our guidelines. I'm supposed to just teach you a good topic sentence, but I want you guys, and that's why I've spent a bit of time the last few weeks. If you can write best topic sentences at CLB 4 or 5, the rest of it becomes easier. Okay, let's move on. But I'm happy that you're moving and working through this together. And I have the recording, or I've been recording, so you can watch this section again as well, if parts of this is still confusing. Any questions from this part or this section? Okay. Let me just stop the recording here so that this is in one part by itself.